Okay, this is actually one of the first paintings I ever did. It was 5 years ago. You know, I took a hiatus from my art to make a living. Remember, I said I taught English. Well, I did it for 30 years. And you don't get promotion and tenure if you're in the English department by being a painter. But in 2000, I decided that I would return to my art. And this is the first acrylic I did. I had never worked with acrylics before. And I got this idea from reading a book about ancient peoples. So here I'll explain a little bit of the image that you see. This is called burial site, S-I-T-E. Well, site means place. But look what this guy has instead of eyes. He's got onions. And certain ancient peoples in Europe used to bury their dead with onions in their eye sockets. Now, why they did this, I'm not sure we know. We can probably only guess. But what's cool about an onion, and you can see this here, is an onion set, see its little roots, it grows. So onions reproduce not just by seeding themselves, but if you take a little portion of the onion, it can regrow. So perhaps ancient peoples had noticed this, that something that was apparently dead, a dry onion, like we get in the grocery store today, but they would have pulled it themselves, obviously, that would regenerate. And so perhaps this allowed them to incorporate into the burial some sort of sense of eternal life, because here was something that did, in their eyes, come back to life. Now I want to show you one of my favorite pieces. See, they're jokes, right? Burial site, that's a pun. People always say puns are kind of stupid. We all groan when we hear a pun. That's just because we're jealous. We love puns. I use puns in my art. I use puns in my poetry. Because one of the cool things about puns is you're actually getting across two meanings at the same time, as within burial site. Well, here's little Barbie. This is real Barbies. Somebody came to a show I had about 8 years ago and said, were these your Barbies when you were a kid? Well, I'm too old to have played with Barbies. These are my Barbies that I got when I was in my 50s. And I have a basement full of Barbies because once my friends discovered that I worked with Barbies, they very graciously gave me all the Barbies that they had as kids. So I have more Barbies than I need. Don't give me any. Thank you. This is Barbie's box. This is a Barbie head. And what I did was I took a little cardboard box and I covered it in cloth, and then I put a decorative ribbon around it. And then I did the same thing with the base, and I lined it. And you can use this as a jewelry box. So here she is, Barbie's box. Now these are two of the main features of Barbie. The one is missing, of course, and that's Barbie's boobs. Barbie's got great legs, right? And she's got gobs of hair, right? But in this case, no boobs. So it goes.